So that the full white fabric is achieved. The same.
Hey, go.
हमारे थोड़ा कर
Hello.
Good afternoon, ma'am. We can start the talk. Actually, the meeting got full. Meeting is full again, so we can start the talk and we will record the session.
So I've started the recording. Madhavi madam.
Yes.
Dr. Kapni here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I think here as well I have a limitation of 100 people. No problem. What we'll do is we'll send a message to all other students that the recording will be available to them.
Okay. Okay, sir. No problem.
Completed. Okay. So Rushad.
Yes.
Yeah, can you give some introduction about Madhavi madam, and then she can make a start with the presentation.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are really happy to see you all in huge numbers. We have with us today Mrs. Wadkar, Senior Librarian and Head at Professor M.M. Sharma Library. Ma'am has been successfully managing and organizing the library with her vibrant leadership. A person who is fondly known for her kind approach to students, she has left no stone unturned in catering the resources for academic research and scientific understanding of students. Professor M.M. Sharma Library has access to more than 500 electronic journals, databases such as Reactis, Skyfinder, Scopus, Web of Science, etc. The library is fully computerized using the library management software called Lipsys. It can be termed as a hybrid library with best collection of printed and digital documents. With immense gratitude, I now humbly invite ma'am for her presentation. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Rushad. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll just quickly share my screen and then we'll start.
Madhavi madam, you can start. We can see there.
Yeah, okay. Good afternoon to all. And I welcome you for this session. And firstly, I'd like to thank Bombay Technologists for actually initiating this session because it is really important for you all to know what are electronic resources, how are they going to be helpful to you, and especially in this time when during the pandemic, when you all are physically not present in the campus and from your homes, when the physical library is shut for you all, how do you actually go ahead and access the resources that the library subscribes to? So firstly, I would say that now that everybody is using gadgets and familiar with internet, with newer technologies, one would feel that why do I still need to use library? You know, that is the question with which I would like to begin with. So it is like people would think, students especially think that now everything is available on Google. So whatever doubt I have, whatever problems I have, I just Google it out and I get answers to it. Do I really need to come to the library to access the resources? So this is the common question asked these days by the newer generation. So firstly, I would like to say that yes, it is extremely important to use the electronic uses like resources, electronic, to use the library resources, and why? Because for the authenticity. That's the topmost reason why you require to use the library resources. You go to Google and you search for any kind of information that you require. First, you come across Wikipedia. Wikipedia would be the first, if among the result, Wikipedia will come as the topmost result. So you all know that how Wikipedia operates. It is like anybody, a layperson like me, also can start Wikipedia or share something on Wikipedia. Now, if I share something in my subject domain like librarian, information science, that of course there is an authenticity because I'm a practicing librarian. I have been, doing research in my field for a long time, and so maybe I am the right person to write a Wikipedia page. It will not be the case in some other subjects. So supposedly I have to write on chemical technology. Do I have the authority to write on chemical technology? Question mark. So Wikipedia is something where any layperson can give their views, their opinions, and sometimes it can take you to it all. There are chances that it might be completely, the information might be completely wrong as to what the real information is. Like now with this pandemic, when everybody is sitting at home, and you can see that everybody is trying to communicate with each other through their mobile phones, especially WhatsApp and such type of social networking tools. You will see that there is so much of fake information passing on. So it's like during the pandemic, when everything was shut down during the lockdown period, some people shared that there were peacocks in this region, on the Mumbai roads. Then then the same message will come saying that at Delhi or Delhi, you find peacocks, and this image they were shared. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
So, and the images that are shared are exactly the same. So, whom do you believe? Do you believe? I mean, it is really very difficult to find out that what is the correct, right, and authentic information, and how do you find it? From what source this information is coming? So if you see somebody has sent it on WhatsApp, definitely will not believe. But something which is telecast on television, in the news maybe, they show that, okay, peacocks were actually seen on the roads of Mumbai at Nariman Point or whatever area, then probably you will believe and you will say, okay, this might be authentic information because it is coming from the news media. So the source, the source from where it is coming, and that is how you decide whether the information is authentic or not. So I would say when you Google out things, you get information, you don't know the sources from where this information is coming. So it is really questionable or not. So in these cases, authentic source that you need to refer to, and of course in research or in academics, this is not acceptable when you just pick up information from anywhere and everywhere and try to put it in your research reports or try to put it in your academic assignments or project works. So one has to be really careful. And suppose if you start with the wrong information, your whole project, your whole assignment, your whole research might go in a different direction altogether. So one has to be very, very careful as to from where they're picking up the information. And that is when the libraries come in picture. Because the libraries will collect resources which are authentic. The librarian or the library professionals or the staff who works for the library will first try to find out before purchase of any kind of electronic resources, any kind of physical printed resources, will first check for the authenticity of that. Which is the publisher, whether the book comes are authentic enough, they come from authentic source, and after that only that particular resource is procured in the library. So one thing you are very sure that when you go to the library or when you use the electronic resources of the library, you are actually accessing the authentic information. So this is very, very important for you all to know that why libraries are important even in the Google age. So now I conveniently know the importance of the library. Just before we start, just to give you a brief of Professor Sharma Library, which is Central Library Far It is housed in a great ground plus two-story building as well as a open access. It is a specialized collection including chemical sciences, chemical technology, pharmacy, and all the allied subjects. Whichever departments we have a very good collection on each of the topics. It follows universal decimal classification scheme, which is fully automated using E-thesis software. And collection includes print plus digital resources, and we subscribe to a number of databases and libraries under CCTV. So this is just to give you a brief beyond that. So as I said earlier, that you really have to know that when, I just explained to you that how important it is to use the library resources and to come to the library. But here I meant not physically coming to the library only, and that's why I've titled it Beyond the Four Walls of the Library, beyond the walls of the library, because now library is not which is inside the four walls of the library, but it is a lot more number of electronic resources which the library subscribes to, and also some open source, open access resources which are freely available to everybody. Access it, any layperson can access it. These open access resources. So in my session, I will be starting with what exactly is the what exactly is a scholarly communication cycle, and begin. I also like to briefly explain you that what are primary, secondary, and tertiary resources. All the information resources. I mean, any source from where we get information is called as information resource. So it can be audio, it can be printed. Of course, it begins with printed. Then there is audio, there can be visuals, and there could be some softwares which are available to analyze your data. So all these are nothing but information resources, and they can be classified into mainly three types: the primary, the secondary, and the tertiary. So the primary resources are the ones where the researcher actually conducts her research and writes it down, or documents it in some form. It is documented in some form and it is published. So these are primary resources. So it can be books which are written by single authors, non-edited books. Books also, there are two types. One is the monographs which are written by a single author, and the other which are edited books where the editor works. So books are one. Then journal articles. The term is nothing.
Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, there is some network issues on your side. Your voice is cracking.
Okay, one second. I'll shift to. Okay, am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
So, so the primary, secondary, and tertiary resources. So the primary are the ones where the researcher actually writes down his or her research work, or it could be an expert writing on a particular subject. So a single authored book, a monograph, is a primary resource. Also a journal article. So journal is nothing but kind of a document which is brought out periodically. So something like a newspaper or a magazine, which comes out periodically, maybe monthly, maybe weekly, yearly, half yearly, and whatever the frequency. But here the only difference between a magazine and a journal is that journal will document only research work. Okay, so it will have only research work as their articles and nothing else. So that is called as a scholarly journal. So these come into the primary sources of information where you actually get the information on a particular topic. Then comes the secondary source of information. So these are mostly compiled works where information is gathered from the primary resources. So it could be, the best example is your encyclopedias or dictionaries, which are the secondary sources where the information is compiled from different books, from different journal articles into an encyclopedia where you get information on a particular topic. So, but it is a compiled work, it is not written by a single person, you know. So it is a compilation of primary resources. So that becomes your secondary sources. And the third are the tertiary sources, which will actually point you out to the primary resources. So in any kind of book, if you see, if you want to go to a particular, you want to know whether this topic is covered in the book, what will you do? You generally go to the contents page, you find out where it is. If not, then you go at the back of the book, there is an index page where the terms are indexed and against that the page number is written. So if you just, one second. So if you just check the page number against the keyword that you're looking for, and you go to that particular page, you will immediately find the information on that particular keyword for which you are searching. So similarly, these tertiary sources are the ones which are a kind of a database of the primary resources, which will point you out to the primary resource. So supposedly you're searching on a particular topic. There are databases where, like Google, when you search for Google, it will point you out to the results, you know, and which can include various things. But here, these sources will actually point you out to the primary resources, the book chapters or the journals. So these are citation databases, we can call. I mean, that is what they are called now. Earlier, it were mostly indexing, abstracting resources. But now they have a lot of value addition in it, and there are various modules added to it, and they're called citation databases, and examples of that are like Scopus or Web of Science. So this is what I wanted you all to know before we start. So now I start with my session and show you exactly how is the scholarly communication cycle moves and how these electronic resources are important and when you need to use which resource. So this is a typical scholarly communication cycle. So as you have life cycles for various products and environmental cycles, similarly for information also there is a scholarly communication cycle, that how information is passed on from one source to the other, from one person to many, and how it is going on expanding, how the knowledge is going on expanding. So how the ecosystem of the scholarly communication is going on expanding. So you begin with new knowledge is created. So a researcher will do his or her research and will try to communicate it to others through books or through journal articles. Now the new researcher will, so this particular manuscript that this researcher has written will be given to publisher, and the publisher will then decide to publish it in a journal or a book depending on what kind of article or what kind of coverage the researcher has written. On basis of that, it will be decided whether it will be published in a book form or in a research article form in a journal. After it is published, libraries will actually go and collect this, I mean subscribe to these journals or procure these books in the library and add it in their collection. So libraries are kind of a facilitators for disseminating this information, this primary information to its users, to other researchers, to other researchers. So after libraries provide, then libraries will provide, which is generally for electronic resources, it's a 24/7 access. You can Google it out also. And then the new researchers, the students, will actually read this, and then they will start their own research. Then they will contribute from their side into new knowledge, because they will do their own research, and then the cycle goes on and on. And that is how it is even getting expanded, because new and new knowledge is getting added to this information cycle, to this umbrella of scholarly material, this scholarly knowledge database, I can say. So this is going on increasing day by day because new researchers are picking up information from the old researchers and contributing the new research. And in that there are publishers and libraries who are the facilitators of adding to this knowledge database, to expanding this information database and making it available to everybody, to all the researchers and especially academic students like you all. A typical research process. I want you all to know the research process because any time, be it a small project work that has been assigned to you, a small assignment that is given to you by your faculty member, it is not that you just Google it out, you pick up information from here and there, you compile it and you submit it. No, it shouldn't be that. Because I said that the information that you collect should be authentic information in the first place. So you make use of libraries, and you have to know that how the research process actually is, how it is to be conducted. And even for a smaller assignment, I would say that you should try to follow the standard research process, because that is going to actually take you in the right direction in your research. You will be able to furnish authentic information in your project report, and that will give a lot of value addition, lot of weightage to your report, and obviously marks would also come with that. So a research process is something which starts with formulation of a research objective, that what exactly you are going to find out, what is your, or it can start with a problem, they say, that you see that, okay, this is the problem area and nobody has looked into it, and this is the problem which is reoccurring in a particular field. So why don't I work on this and try to find it? Like now, during this pandemic, there is a high research to find a vaccine for this virus, coronavirus. So there is a problem. So here they started with a problem, because the COVID-19, when it started, came as a problem, and then people started falling ill. So they started with a problem and now doing their research. So similarly, you have to build up your research on either a problem, either a question, or even a topic that is of your interest. So you have to find out that what exactly I'm going to do in my research. Then formulate your research objectives. What are the objectives? What exactly I'm going to find out from this research? The review of related. This is very, very important, because you feel this is what is the problem area, and I need to find answer to this, and you start your research without even doing your literature review, finding out what is the literature already published on that particular topic. And when you complete it, and your faculty member or your guide might say, oh, this has already been done by somebody else, and there is already a solution to this. So without knowing the solution, without knowing this, you cannot start. So it is very extremely important for you to review the literature, what is available on a particular topic, and only after clear out your questions, clear out that whether you're going in the right direction. So all things are very important. Already happening on a particular topic.
Really sorry to interrupt, ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am. You are not audible.
At all? Maybe I can use the Okay, am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So any kind of project that you're looking for, you should start with a proper standard research process. So after reviewing of your literature, you can again go back and then you come to know, okay, there is already solution on the problem which you thought was a problem, but there is already a solution to it. And then you can go back and formulate your question, reframe your question again. So then comes the formulation of hypothesis, if there are any, but I'll not talk about it more here because that is more for the PhD scholars. And then to actually design or have a methodology for your research, that how you're going to go about doing your research. So designing the tools, the data collection, then actually collecting the data, then analyzing the data and drawing conclusion or finding out the results. After finding out the results, are you it might be for an assignment of your for any kind of an assignment for your academic work. Then you have to make a report of it and submit it to your institute or to your department. Other than that, if it is at the higher level, like if it is a master's research work or a PhD research work, then generally the researcher will try to convey the result or the research work to other researchers in his or her field or to other people all over the world. And how do they do that? They do it with the help of publishing. So they will publish their research work. This is the they will publish their research work and try to reach out to other researchers, which will be helpful for other researchers when they do their literature review. So as you have gone through various other research articles or books when you did your own research, similarly, your research work when published, the others will use it for their own research purpose. So that is how the knowledge of the world is going to go on increasing. So writing of the report and reporting research findings. Now we come to electronic resources. So I focus mostly on electronic resources only because right now this is what is going to help you all than the physical resources. So electronic information resources refer to those material which require computer access to access the data from these resources. So it's as simple as that. There are different types of electronic resources. There's e-journal, e-books, full text databases, indexing abstracting databases, reference databases, numeric and statistical databases, e-images or e-audio and visual resources. So journals, as I said, as a physical journal, it is only in the electronic format, which is called electronic journal. I have explained it to you before that it is a scholarly article collection and which comes out in a particular frequency periodically. E-books. E-books is similar to any physical book but only in an electronic format. Then full text databases is like a database where you will get articles from different publishers under a single roof, so under a single database. Then indexing and abstracting service, abstracting databases are the tertiary resources which I said will actually point you out to the electronic journal articles. It will point you out to the primary resources. Then reference databases like your dictionaries and encyclopedias in digital format. Numerical and statisticals like census, which gives numbers, or any other kind of statistical database which will actually give you the statistics, statistical information. Images, of course, in the electronic format, and audiovisual resources. So these are different electronic resources and we have access to many of these. I mean, the library subscribes to many of these. Our electronic collection includes e-books, e-journal, e-databases and e-research tools. So Professor M.M. Sharma Library's e-collection, you can see in e-journals we have these many publishers. In e-books, then we have research tools and we have databases as well. As I said, literature review, you have to actually do your literature study first when you start with any kind of your project report, your assignment or your research work. So it is important in shaping the research problem, as I said, that you will come to know that this problem has already been solved by some other researcher. It will be helpful for you also because till now you are thinking that this is the problem, but the answer is already there in the literature. So it is going to help you in that, or helps to set a relationship between your research and the body of knowledge related to your research. So whatever is available in particular area in which you are doing research, it will give you a relationship between your topic and the overall research that is available on a particular topic. So you will know that where your research stands or fits into the knowledge or into the related knowledge of your area of interest. Why literature review? It is to convey the previous knowledge established on the topic their strength or weaknesses. So supposedly that you go through the literature review, you come to know that the problem area in which you are doing research is not yet answered. So you can always find out that what are the strengths, of course, and what has already been found out and already established. And but there might be some weakness areas where you see that not much work is done, so you can start with those weakness areas and start your research in those areas. So it actually tells you, so before you even decide that what topic you are going to actually start with, this literature review is going to help you in deciding or on focusing on a particular topic as well. Broadly, you can start with a topic, go on reading, try to find out what is happening in that particular area, the latest happenings, latest up-to-dates, and then find out that this seems to be the weakness area because there is not much talked about in this particular. So that is where you can choose, you can pick up that and start your research on that. So to identify and clarify concepts, vocabulary, see every topic or every area have their own vocabulary, they have their own terminology, terms which we are initially not familiar with. But as you read, you come to know, okay, in this particular area, okay, this is called, like in computer science, IT, there are new words that are coming up, and then sometimes the newer technologies you are not aware. Then you Google out and you see, okay, this is what it means, you hear from others. So that way every subject area have their own terminology, they have their own vocabulary. It is very easy to get familiarized. I mean, it is necessary to get familiarized with this vocabulary when you are going to work on a particular area, and so literature review is also going to help on that. So you have to keep reading. First, you begin with reading before you start with anything. To just the gap in research, justify also that why you're doing a research on this particular, because you feel that there is a gap, there is a weakness, there is not much published in the particular area, and that is why I have selected this. So literature review will help you to understand the research, and also it will help to, so this is like you try to figure out that which is the area which you are going to work on, or you actually work out your title of your research. And the other part is also for you to know that which is the methodology that has been adopted by other researchers, because when you have to decide upon your own methodology to do a particular research, you have to know exactly that it will really help you from other researchers that what were the methodologies that they had adopted, and accordingly you can work out on your own methodology. Identify other scholars, see other scholars, to know other scholars, to follow them, to know that who are doing research in this particular area, that is also very important. So to identify the scholars in your research, to ensure that no past research has been done on the current research topic. You have to find out actually that no research is done, and then only you can pick up your own research topics. Identify relevant resources, maybe print plus electronic, analyze the resources, and critically evaluate the content, summarize the content, write the review, and organize your review. So this is how your literature review, first you find out that what has been published in your particular area, you get familiarized with the vocabulary, then you try to analyze what are the content, what is already been published and already been researched on, and what can you take as your topic. Then what you have to do is you have to give a background of your for your project work, for your research work. In your report, you have to give a background, and that is nothing but your literature review. So you have to start with what has been published and what are the strong areas of research, what has been established in a particular on a particular area by the researchers, and what are the weaknesses. Then and all this you have to do, and also write it down. You have to actually review it in your paper. So your report should always begin with an introduction and then a literature review. That gives a lot of authenticity to you. Even when you have to publish some research articles in journals, there is a format, a layout of how you actually go about and write your article. So in that, literature review plays a very, very important and essential role. So it is very, very important to have. So if you start practicing right from your UG time, your UG, that whatever topic you have been assigned to do your project works, to do your assignments, you start with literature review. You know that these are the good practices that you can begin with, and that will, you know, that gets inculcated in your work. In your work, you know, working style. So the first thing is that you find out that what is already there, and then you start with your own, which is a very, very good practice, and it is going to help you always, starting from your small project assignments to your bigger research projects, you know, which you might handle later. So once you have decided your topic, now how do you actually go and search? You know, so in search also, there is a way of building up your query. Sometimes you search and you say, "Arey, nothing is available." But is it possible in such a huge, vast knowledge database of the world, which I say, and which is ever increasing? Is it possible that you didn't find anything on your particular topic? So there is something, you know. So you have to then know that there is something wrong in your query building. So you have to accordingly build up your query. Either you start from a very broad topic. Supposedly I give chemical engineering in a particular database, or the number of results, it will run into lakhs, you know, because you have very broadly searched. So then you feel, okay, this is very broad, so I need to narrow it down. So you slowly go on narrowing it down. Reverse way is that you start from a very, very narrow, where you actually say that this is the problem, this is the area in India, in this particular time of period, this was done. So if you're looking out a very narrow, a very specific kind of information, there might be a possibility that in Maharashtra, supposedly, if I say that, particularly in Maharashtra, if such kind of work was done, so then you come to know that, oh, there is nothing. So then you can broaden it up. So from Maharashtra, you go ahead and say India, and you know, then Asia and beyond. So according to the results that you get, you can either broaden your query, or you can narrow it down. So it depends on what kind of results you get. So you have to very carefully try to build up your query as well. It is very important. Secondly, you can use Boolean operators. So this is nothing but the and, or, if, else, then statement. Those are there now. When you do an advanced search, you say this particular author and this particular book. So those are nothing but the Boolean operators. So it will give you specifically, because on a particular, by a particular author, on a particular title, there might be 100 books, even in the library catalog when you search. When you just say physical chemistry, and you get a huge number, you know, you might run into hundreds of books. Now you don't know that within that, which one should I choose? So then you can use a Boolean operator here. When a faculty member, while taking your class, mentions about certain author, and says, okay, this is the author, I want you all to read this book. So that is when you come to the library, when you search a particular author, again you get a huge number. So this is a time when you use the Boolean operators. So you can join the author name and the title of the book together with an and then you arrive at a specific book that you're looking for. So it will give you a narrow result, and then choosing from that narrow result becomes easier for you. So Boolean operators are important. Then use synonyms. If you don't find anything, synonyms are, you might all know that similar meaning words. So this is where you look for a particular topic, you give some keywords in your search and you don't find anything. So you say, okay, so this might be called something else. So this is where your literature review, as I said, when you do your literature review, your vocabulary on that particular topic is built up. So you come to know you come across new terminologies, which you need to note down. And then when you're doing your own query building, when you're trying to search for information for your own, that is when these particular synonyms, this particular vocabulary is going to help you arrive at the specific thing that you're looking for. Then use advanced features of the search. Always use the advanced search, you know, that will give you more specific results, more instead of more specific. It can help you to give you the exact result that you're looking for. Then to choose from the smaller result becomes easier for you. Identical, you can't go on pages and pages. When the result in generally Google, when you even Google it out and you come across some thousands of results, generally beyond 2 pages a researcher will not go, or a searcher will not go. So when you search, you go for the first page and you go, at the most you go at the second page, you generally don't go to the third page, you know, then you build up your query again. So be sure try to use advanced search so that the actually what you're looking for might be on the 5th page. You know, if you really choose very broadly, it might go in the 5th page, and you will not land up only on the 5th page to look for the information, because you already get tired after going through the first 2 pages. So this is where we recommend that you use advanced features of the search. When you go to the advanced search, you get specific results. Identify authors of your research area, identify journals of your research area. So you find out people who you generally do research on a particular area. So this is going to help you. And also the journals. Generally journals are subject, they have a particular scope, they are subject specific journals. So you have to identify that which are the journals which would be helpful for me. So you can really search within the journal, but just pick the latest issues of the journal and surf it every week coming to the library or even in so you keep a habit as you read newspapers every day to get the news of the latest happenings. Similarly, if you can identify some journals which are strong in your area of interest, then probably you can kind of surf the newer issues. Every time the newer issue to the journal is added, there are RSS feeds, there are so many things, notifications, which you can put up. I'm audible because my internet connection is showing. I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am.
So you need to identify this journal area. So as I said, that when you build up your vocabulary on a particular subject, here you can see you can make a mind map. A map of the concept map or a mind map on your particular topic. So this here you can see it is a disaster management in libraries. So this is from my area, and this is how I have made a mind map that what all can be included under this disaster management in libraries. So there can be disaster plan content, emergency contact numbers, or disasters which are man-made or natural types. So I have tried to try to put all the terms and terminologies that I feel would fall under this umbrella topic and try to make a mind map of it. So before you begin, you make a mind map. So while searching, it becomes much easier for you. And it also helps you in planning out of writing your report. When you're writing your report, you know that what hierarchy a particular topic will lie, and within that, then what you need to, and how can you bifurcate then into under which topic or and which could be the main topic, which could be the subtopic. So it helps you in understanding all this, So it is very important that you first make a mind map or a concept map on your particular topic. How do you start? So now, as I said, that we ICT library subscribe to a lot of electronic resources, and one of them, the databases, which falls under tertiary resources, which I mentioned. So you start with the tertiary resources. We subscribe to Scopus, we subscribe to Web of Science, we subscribe to SciFinder, we subscribe to Reaxis. So these are the tertiary resources from where you begin with. So you get, these are databases which are specially designed for the science and technology, So it has a lot of complex structure. The platform used for these databases are highly complex and has a lot of artificial intelligence elements into it. So it is really going to help you in your search instead of Google. When you start with Google, of course you can start with Google Scholar, which is also a very good tool, but since we subscribe to Scopus and Web of Science, these are specifically designed for science and technology, and the platforms are really robust, and it has a very good search searching technology. So to begin with this, it is definitely going to help you a lot in finding out the precise information or the right authentic information that you are looking for. So these are the tertiary resources. So I recommend everybody that when you start searching for something, you use the tertiary resources. Start with Scopus, start with Web of Science. Then comes the electronic books. Okay, so as I said, the primary resources. So ultimately, even if you start with tertiary resources, it is going to point you out to the book chapters or to the journal articles. So what is an electronic book? As I said, in an electronic format. This is just a small A which you might feel interested in. That Michael Hart, founder of Project Gutenberg, invented e-book first in 1971 when the physical book was actually scanned and an electronic book was formed in 1971, just for your interest. So the e-books procured by Professor M.M. Sharma Library, we have procured books from different publishers. We have almost access to 700 electronic books. So we have books from Taylor and Francis Publications, Elsevier. The platform for Elsevier is Science Direct, which I think most of you all use commonly for your searches. Then we have American Chemical Society, that is ACS book publications. We have Royal Society for Chemistry, that is RSC. Published books. Then we have Beagle, who is another publisher, and Pearson also for your e-textbooks. So these are all the renowned publishers in science and technology from whom we have procured our electronic books. This is what we have actually procured. We have paid and bought those books. The previous slide, which I showed you, has the names of the publishers. So those are the books which we have actually paid and procured for our library. But there are also so many open access electronic books. You all must be aware of open access, which is like without subscription or without payment, the information is accessible to all, everybody, each and everybody. So that is called, it is another model of publishing where the author says that let my work be accessible to everybody. I don't want anybody to pay for my research results which I am publishing. So that is called as open access. So under open access electronic books also, you will get access to lot many electronic books. So one is your National Digital Library of India, that is NDLI, which is a government initiative. So where IIT Kharagpur handles the database, where from all over India, the libraries contribute their electronic resources to this library. So, and you can be a member of this library, go to National Digital Library and you can register yourself under that. Or you can take our help to register. And after that, you will get access to all the electronic books that are available in National Digital Library. Then Google Books, of course, that too you must have come across many times when you do your Google search, you come across Google Books. So there were the books, e-books are freely available. Project Gutenberg, which was a project which was in 1971 when they, in the previous slide which I just mentioned, that in 1970 the first e-book was made, that was under Project Gutenberg, published under Project Gutenberg. So under this project, there are a lot many electronic books whose copyright has been has got over, you know, those kind of classics or those kind of very old books where the authors have died many years ago and the copyright is also over. Those are digitized. You know, anybody can't digitize everything, you know, anything, that whatever, if I supposedly decide that, okay, one of the library books I'll digitize and keep, I cannot keep that because I have to take up, because there are copyrights associated with it, author rights associated with that particular, because it is the knowledge of some author who has written it, or that some person. So I have to take permission before I digitize it. So I cannot go and digitize everything. So I have to very clearly see that which are the books which are not under the copyright, and only those can be digitized. So Project Gutenberg did that. They actually picked up the books which have lost this copyright and where the copyright has got over, and those were digitized and are now made available to everybody free of cost. Then Directory of Open Access Books, so DOAB. So DOAB. So this is a very good initiative. It started from UK, and UK is very strong in open access. Europe is actually very strong in open access. So they have a movement called open access. They say that all the researchers should make their information available to lay person, everybody, without charging or without selling their books or without adding a subscription cost to their journals. So Directory of Open Access, if you go to this link, you will find lot many electronic books. You can search on your topic, you can get complete access, full access, first page to last page in electronic format. Then Hathitrust Digital Library is also there, where you can click and see. World Digital Library is another. Open, OAPEN, that is Online Library and Publication Platform, is another, where you get access to all the electronic books. So one is the electronic books which are subscribed by us, and other is these open access books which are accessible to you. So in open, this is just a screenshot of open. You can see that self-assembled molecules. This book is completely available, and below the image of the book you can see that there's a download. So if you just click, and it's a Springer Nature publication, okay? So if you just click on that, and you will get access to all the chapters, and somewhere so they will allow you to access the complete book. But you go to the right source, you know, the right the right platform, because people also go to sites which are, you know, illegal, and here properly the publisher themselves have published it in the open access forum, and that is how. But those sites which pirate, you know, which will copy from others, try to assemble from here and there, and then try to put up their platform as an open access. Be careful. Please do not visit such kind of websites. Go to the proper open access websites and try to use the electronic resources. Then comes the electronic journals. Now this is another primary source of information which is very important for a researcher, because in books it is like for a book to the author to write and get it published, it takes time, and so whatever information is there in a book, and of course the purpose of the book is to give the fundamentals more, you know, whereas journals will actually give you articles of the latest happenings, the research that is happening in the field. E-journal is nothing but again a journal in an electronic format, like a physical journal. I already spoke to you about how a journal is different than a magazine. So it has scholarly research articles. So the historical, so this is another just for your information, that evolution of electronic journal has been traced to 1960s. So before the electronic book was born, an electronic journal was already born. So they are seniors in that way. Electronic journal is senior to a electronic book. And so it was first full-fledged electronic journal in 1980 at New Jersey, when exactly it was initiated in 1960s, but in 1980 a full-fledged electronic journal they started publishing, was established and started publishing articles in the electronic format from 1980 onwards. So e-journals subscribed by our library, we have Wiley, Springer Nature, Taylor and Francis, Beagle, Theme, Sage, American Chemical Society, Elsevier, Royal Society for Chemistry, Bentham Science, and our latest new editions, that is called Jovi, which is a video journal. So as you can see that these are the renowned publishers in the field of science and technology, and we subscribe to almost all the renowned publishers, something or the other of our interest, I mean of our subject area pertaining to chemical engineering, chemical technology, chemistry, and our allied subjects. So we subscribe to all these renowned publishers, and our latest edition, Jovi, how it is different, it is a video journal. So as you can see in a Wiley or a Taylor and Francis journal, you open, you will see article in the printed format. Similarly, a PDF of the article is available when you search for an electronic journal. But in Jovi, if you search something, you come across small videos, you know, videos of research. So actually they will show you lab research work. You know, they will actually show you the experiments that happened in the labs and the research which was done, and those experiments are recorded and are published in this video journal. It is new, you can explore it further. I'll show you how you are going to access all this. Similar to open access electronic books, there are open access electronic journals as well. So we have this National Library of Information Service, that is Enlist, which is a government initiative again. Then Directory of Open Access Journals like DOAB, is DOAJ, where you just click on this and you will get all the electronic journals that are published in an open access format. So it is open to you, you can download any article which you wish to, you can search within it. It is a database of open access journals. Then open access journals, then PLOS.org, e-commons. So these are all published journal articles in open access format. Other than that, you know, there is something called as preprint servers as well. Now, what are these preprint servers are? Like I am doing my research and I've got the result of my research, and now I have done my manuscript and I'm sending it to the publisher. It is not very easy to get published. It takes time. So when you do your research and start writing, once your manuscript is ready and you send it to different publishers, it is peer reviewed. You know, peer reviewed means experts of those areas, those research areas, will actually go through your research article, find out whether authenticity of your research. They will try to and only after that it will be published. So it takes time, it takes months, and sometimes a year also. Certain journals take a lot of time. So before that, then you have to wait for your research to be conveyed to others. You have to wait for it. So in this waiting period, there is something called as preprint servers. So ARXIV, which is started by Cornell University, basically they started with physics, but now they have expanded. So these are the preprint servers where actually you can share your research. You can put up your research in this, of course, but it is not peer reviewed. So it is just a kind of a database where you can add your research work, and the others will comment on it. Others will give their comments on your research. So this is how the preprint servers, and now we have started. Now latest chemistry preprint servers has also seen. I'll send you a link of that later, which is again initiated by Royal Society for Chemistry and ACS. They have come together and started a chemistry preprint server. So here also, so while searching for information, you can search in this preprint servers also, because here you will get the very latest kind of information, the latest which is not even published, but is already there, might be there in the preprint servers. The researchers might have contributed it or must have been put it up, uploaded it in this preprint servers. So here also you can get a lot of information without any cost, free of cost. So this was all about the electronic books, the electronic databases, the electronic journals. Now how do you actually access this? So you access this by our library catalog page, or the portal, when we can say ictlibrary.firstrate.in. If you click on this, you'll see, you can search the catalog. On the upper window you can see the search library catalog. So you can put in your keyword and make a search, and you will get all the books or reports or the physical books that are available in the library. The titles of those will be available to you, and then you can decide which book you can get issued from the library, what we have. Or you can also download a bibliography on a particular topic, how many books are there, and so it is for your library search. And now, earlier it was, if you all remember, you used to come to the library and search on those terminals which are available in the library. But now with this, we during this pandemic time, you have gone actually into web OPAC, that is what you call it as, like catalog which can be searched from anywhere, any place on the internet. So from this site, you can actually make a search. You go to this site and you can actually make a search and see that what is available in our library. Then below you can see that there are, and plus this is a union catalog of all the three libraries, the Mumbai, from Mumbai, as well as the Bhubaneswar campus, as well as Jalna Marathwada campus. So it is kind of a union catalog. So if you want, you can search only for Mumbai. If you want, you can search the other places as well. And below you can see that there are links to all the electronic books, journals, databases. So when you are in campus, see, remember all these databases are IP based. So when you are in campus, if you click on this, you will immediately get access to it. But from home, you will not be able to access through this, but you will be able to access it through remote access. So I will show you how remote access also works. Okay. Otherwise, when you are in campus, you just go to this website and click on any of the database that you're looking for, and it will open out for you, like Scopus, Reaccess. You just have to click, Reaccess will start, and you can start using it. You just click on the ebooks of Elsevier under Science Direct. You will come across all the electronic books that we Elsevier publishes, as well as those which we have subscribed or which we have procured for our library. So you'll get a list of those also. But from your home, you will get links to all this, but through a remote access portal. Other e-resources that we have Derwent Innovation. which is a patent database which we have newly started subscribe. It is again a paid service. It is a newly subscription that we have started. So we are now slowly trying to arrange demo sessions for it to get it more popularized and to know exactly how to use it. But the link is available on the remote access. You can also explore it on your own. Then NPTEL lectures are available. A link is available NPTEL also, where the lectures, video lectures of lot of other faculties also, other institute faculties like IITs, and they have also contributed to this video lecture. So on a particular topic, you can watch any of those videos. Show the Ganga, which is a thesis repository. So the previous work done by previous researchers, the thesis that are submitted by PhD students, those are available on this Show the Ganga, which is again a government initiative. So it is kind of a thesis repository of India. So when you search for books and journal articles in the library, you also please go through Show the Ganga and try to find out that what kind of research work has been done in India on a particular topic, or even for your project works, it will be very, very helpful. Then comes Show the Gangotri, which is on the ongoing thesis. So if you want to know, okay, these theses are already going on, this topic has been taken by someone. So I really have to, this is mostly for the PhD scholars, where the PhD students have to actually choose a topic which is unique, which nobody else is doing, you know. So in that case, Show the Gangotri is very helpful because they come to know that these are the ongoing theses, so I shouldn't pick up anything from those. Also go to Show the Ganga and see if any, people have worked on any of this, and then decide at which particular topic they are going to work on. Then again, Google Patents, which is freely available, which is again a patent. So you, as you go to Google Scholar, Google has specializations. So when you search for research articles, then you have to go to Google Scholar and search through that. Similarly, this is Google Patents, where you actually go to, you type in Google Patents, it will give you a link. You click on that link, and then whatever you search, you will only get a result as patents. How do you go about remote access? So for remote access, you have to write to me at my email ID and say that through your institutional email ID. When you visit the library for your issuing or return of book, you use your ID card, isn't it? It is compulsory for you to bring your identity card with you, because without that, you will not issue a book or return a book from you. So similarly, for remote access, what is important is to have an institutional email ID. So if you don't have an institutional email ID, please get one made from our IPC, that is Information Processing Center, from Mrs Madhavi, who heads the IPC. So with her help, you can get your institutional email ID made. And once your institutional email ID is made, then you write to me saying, this is my institutional email ID and I want access to remote access to, I want access to this electronic resources from my home. So then I can arrange for a remote access for you. I'll make a login and password for you. And with that, with the help of that, you can access the electronic. So this is the portal, the screenshot of that page. You just have to put your login and password. Okay. If time permits, I'll just quickly show. I can show you also how it looks like. Then electronic research tool. Other than these resources, we have a lot of electronic research tools as well. So we have Reference Manager, Mendeley, and when you're searching for information, and as I said, and you do your literature review, and you complete your project, writing your project or writing your research paper, what is important is at the end you should have references from where you have referred, because that will add authenticity to your project work, to your research paper. Without that, it won't be accepted. So you have to say that what are the references that you have used. So when you write these references, if you want to publish it internationally or even nationally, when you want to publish your research work in an article, then there are various styles of writing this bibliography. You know, these references that you write at the end, it is not that you keep straight away write according to what you want, author colon and author's name, title colon and title's name. No, there are various styles for writing this. So you have to know those styles if you want to, try to publish something or with a particular publisher. The publisher will tell you that this is our style, so please write according to this style. So then you have to know that what are these different styles. So to handle these references, there are these reference managers, which is called Mendeley, EndNotes, or Tarot. So Mendeley, and we get it through our Scopus subscription. It is an Elsevier product, so we get it free of cost, but only the online version of it we get. So we can further, if you are interested, we can have small sessions on these reference managers, especially for the master students who can know how to use these tools, but these are available in the library. Then there are plagiarism check software. So when you have to submit something now, plagiarism check is extremely important because of the copyrights. You just cannot copy something from someone and put it as your own, compile it together and send it as your report. So you have to be very, very careful about that. In academics too, the UGC has announced that your plagiarism check, your similarity index should be less than 10%. Okay. So if something goes beyond 10% for PhD scholars, it is rejected. Their work is rejected. The guide will not take it further only, will not even sign their report. So you have to be very careful of what you take from others. You can, of course, in your literature review, what others have said, that only you have to put in, but in your own words. You just cannot copy paste. You cannot cut paste. Just cut it from there and paste it. So that is not at all allowed. It is against copyright. So you have to be very careful while writing your report. It should be in your own words. Even what other person is saying, but it should come in your own words, and you have to give credit to that person as well. You have to write in your reference that this is what this thing I've picked up from this particular source, from this particular reference. So that is very, very important. Then writing help like Grammarly is available, Ginger and others are available, but we subscribe to Grammarly. Then for formatting, there is Typeset. We don't have subscription to any of it, but Overly Flatex is something called open source, again on open access tool, which can be used by anybody. Then choose your journal. When you have to choose your journal, where I do need to publish, there is Scopus, JCR, Scimago, and other things which are available. For every researcher, I would recommend that for every researcher, there is now a identity. An ID code is given. As your roll number is your identity, when you enter your institute, every time you have to say for your attendance, for your examinations, your roll number is important. Similarly, for a researcher internationally, there is a unique code number which is called as ORCID. So every researcher has to have this ORCID registration and have that identity for himself or herself. And this is what this identity number he or she has to use when they are publishing their research work. Now, this is a typical publication process where you submit a paper, then reviewing is done, peer reviewing is done. Then again, they might say, okay, this is, the editor will look into it. Then they will tell you whether it is accepted or not, or some changes are to be made. They will send it to. This is just for you to understand how a scholarly communication works. Okay. And if maybe anybody of you all, if there are master students and if they are interested in getting their work published, then it will be helpful for them. Then your final confirmation comes from publisher and finally it is published. So while publishing, you have to choose that which journal you need to publish into, because you can't write to any journal saying, if you start writing to Nature, which is the highest impact factor, they are definitely going to reject your work, because it has to, you have to know that what is the scope of the journal, and you can't just go by the popularity of the journal or the impact factor of the journal. The subject coverage of the journal, the depth of the subject covered, and accordingly you have to then submit your manuscript to that, or go to that particular publisher. So for journals also, there are one can say there are rankings which is called an impact factor, that how much impact that journal articles published in that particular journal has made on research. That is measured, and it is called as, it has a formula for it. The formula I have mentioned here, it is called impact factor. Now that you are going to be a part of the research, since ICT is known for its research for ages, and we actually start inculcating research values right from your bachelor's level, isn't it? You do your seminar papers right at the bachelor's level, and so once you are a ICT student, you are indirectly a part of this scholarly communication even at the bachelor's level. So for that reason, I have added this publishing also, where you can know that how the scholarly communication works. So similarly, journals have their impact factors. So the higher the impact factor, higher is the value of the journal. The impact that the journal has made in that particular research area. How do you choose your journal? You choose your journal Scopus, in Scopus or Web of Science. You can search whether the journal has been included. Since Scopus and Web of Science are the very renowned and very, what do you say, they do a lot of filtration. You know, they will not accept anything. So just to get a journal to be part of Scopus is of lot of value for that particular publisher and that particular journal. So it's like Scopus index journal. This is Scopus index journal means automatically means that the journal is highly valued. So you start with Scopus, find out from Web of Science that which are the journals, whether that journal which you are going to approach that is covered under Scopus or Web of Science or not. Elsevier has journal finder, you know, this is the website, so you can go to this website, put your title, put your abstract into that and make a search. They will give you a list of journals and they will say that this is the journals where your research paper might get published, the scope and all matches. So they will give you alternatives, you know, to find the journal where you're going to publish. So this is free of cost, this is open for all, anybody can do it. Springer Journal Suggester is also something similar. Then UGC care list. What happened is that now in between lot of one can say journals. See, journals also have their own values, as I said. That some and it is measured with that impact factor. So some are highly impact factors. So you know that you're taking the right information. And as you have, you know, fake products. Similarly, there are fake journals also at times. So to keep out of those fake journals, to keep out, as I said, that the fake news which is you know, circulated on this WhatsApp. So similarly, these fake kind of or low level research papers are also get published in some journals which are not valued or which are called as predatory journals. So to keep you out of that, UGC has actually brought out a care list where they actually list out journals. So for PhD students, it is compulsory to get their at least one article published on their research. So that time they have to be very careful and publish it only in the UGC listed, care listed journal or Scopus or Web of Science listed journal only. If they publish in any other journal, that is not accepted by UGC. And so their degree can, you know, it will take time for them to get your degree until and unless they don't publish in this UGC care list indexed journal or Scopus index journal or Web of Science index journal. So it is very important to know also that where you are publishing. SciMago is another website which gives you the impact factor of journals. So after publishing also, post publication also, a researcher needs to actually publicize their research work, his or her research work. So it can be done through blogs, social media, scientific conventions, reference platforms, websites, then ResearchGate kind of databases where you can register yourself and speak about your research, where others will comment. You keep following other people who are on similar, other researchers who are working on a similar topic will follow you. So this is very, very important. So it is not that once you publish, you keep quiet. You have to do a lot of things post publication also to actually see that what impact your research has made in your area, you know, on the other research. Post publication, you have academic forums, academic networks, scientific conventions, and so many things. So like a journal has, as I said, a measurement for its value, like the impact factor. It will measure that what kind of impact the journal has made. Similarly, a researcher also has a impact of his or her research. So the H-index is an author level matrix. It is called matrix, which will actually measure the impact of that researcher on the topic of what they have worked on. So on other researchers or other scientists or other scholars. So the index is based, again there is a formula to calculate it. So how much my work has been cited by other researchers, on that it is dependent on that. So on the basis of that, a researcher's H-index is also measured. So under Google Scholar profile, if you must be aware of Google Scholar, when you can make your own profile also. And so this I have picked up Professor A.B. Pandit's, our Vice Chancellor's profile, and you can see here that H index, it is showing 82, which is very high, and this is some time back. So if I have not taken the very latest one, the number might have increased. So you can see the H index is 82. So it is extremely high. Nationally, it is very, very high, even internationally, I would say. So you can see that is how the H index or the researchers' impact in their field is measured. I spoke about predatory publishing that one has to be very careful about. So they will generally accept articles quickly and with no peer review. Anything can be hoax, and they might charge fees for the researcher that if you pay so much, we'll immediately publish it. So you should keep out of all this and try to publish in good journals only. Okay, so with that, I gave you a picture of what a scholarly communication is, and in that I tried to fit in that how library fits into your literature review when you do your literature review, and what is electronic resources are going to help you in, which are the electronic resources that we subscribe to, and where do you start with? You start with those tertiary ones, tertiary electronic resources, okay? And if you're going ahead and doing your publishing and all, what care should be taken? This is all about this session, and if you have any questions you can ask, or do you all want me to show how the remote access works?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes, ma'am.
can you see my screen? Oh, I have to share it again, is it? Share screen. Can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is the remote access page. So here, as I said, that you have to write to me with your institutional email ID, and I'll send you your login credentials. So here I'll put libraries. Your email ID itself is your username. Log in, you land up on this page. Is this page visible to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Which lists out all the electronic resources. So here you can see that there are e-databases, followed by e-journals, followed by e-books. Okay. If you go A to Z also, there are various. If you go here it will give you a listing, A to Z listing of what are the electronic resources that our library subscribes to. Can you see here? So these are all, okay? And to know that which is the database and all, the previous list which I showed you, which are electronic journals, which are. So I'll just click on one of the, let's go to Scopus. I said that you begin your research or your search with Scopus. Let's go to Scopus. See, from there when I click to Scopus, it directly landed me on the Scopus page where I can start using it without asking for any username and password. So you put in your username password only once when you log in into remote access, and it will open out all the electronic resources for you directly. Except for SciFinder. SciFinder needs a different kind of registration. I mean, it requires a registration. So if anybody wants to access SciFinder, they have to separately again write to me. Though the link is here, but the registration is not available here. So first, it is a one-time registration and it is mandatory. For SciFinder, you have to register first, and only then it will ask for username and password again when you come on the SciFinder page. And with that only you will be able to access. Otherwise, Scopus, Reaccess, and all the other electronic journals and all, you will be able to access directly. So now here you can see I can type anything, any search. I'm just broadly putting any. And I access search. There is author search, there is affiliation search, there is advanced search as well. So you came to know how you are going to use remote access. Huh? You just have to click on the page, put in your login, you will land up on the page which has list of all the electronic resources. You click on any of the electronic resources, you will come directly to the page of that particular database or that particular journal. Okay. Now you can see with, of course it was very broad, chemical engineering, that is what I put in, so you can see the result. So here you're able to see, this is the list, the result that I have got, and on the left hand side you can see that I can further limit my result into the year. I can see only 20 published in 2020. So in that also you can see already the 2021 publications are shown here. 286 are already published. The next year's 2021 has already been in the line. This is very helpful in electronic resources. In printed, you will have to wait till actually the issue you get in your hand, isn't it? That it is sent by publisher, it comes to the library, and only then you will be able to access it. It doesn't come before time, it always takes some time. But with electronic, so supposedly the January issue you will only get in February or March. But in electronic, you can see that you can right now access 2021 also. Okay. So if you go through these articles, you see here a tab called View at Publisher. Okay, so as I said, that Scopus is a tertiary database. It is an indexing and abstracting source, which is now called as a citation database. So it will just guide you to the primary resources. It doesn't have information. It will just guide you to the information. So you feel that supposedly, if I feel that this particular article looks interesting for me, I further click on it. I get an abstract. I get a abstract of it, the authors I come to know, and I feel that this is relevant, then I go to View at Publisher. Now this here you will only get the abstract. Okay, but if I say View to Publisher, I will go to the page. It will actually take me . Okay, so here in remote access, you won't be able to go view at publisher directly, I suppose. So you have to note down that which is the journal, and then you have to go to the e-journals, and there you have to search that which particular within that journal. But if you are here in campus, if you click at view at publisher, it will directly take you to that particular journal article, and you can download it. Now here one more thing which I want to tell you all, and it is important, that there is something called as systematic downloading, which is prohibited, which is not allowed. So in a particular journal, if you find that there are lot of articles which are of relevance to you, which you want to access to, please do not download it, too many in a particular day or in a particular time, So if you keep on continuously downloading journal articles into your computer, within an hour, if you download somewhere around 100 articles and all, the publishers feel that this has been done with some bad intention. Who will read 100 articles at a time? So why is somebody downloading 100 articles within an hour? So they feel that this is fishy, and they stop access not only to you but to the whole institute. Even Professor Pandit is won't be able to access anything if you do something wrong. Okay, so be careful about the systematic downloading. All this information is going to stay there for you. We are having subscription to it, so it's not going to go anywhere. So just keeping on downloading it to your personal computer is not recommended at all. Even if you tomorrow visit the same site, that article is going to be there, and even after 6 months it is going to be there. So don't keep on downloading it to your computer until and unless it is really essential, and be careful when you are downloading. Don't download too many at a time, because the access is stopped. That is called a systematic download. Okay, so this is what Scopus looks like. Any questions regarding this? You could see that how remote access also works. Anything that you want to know more than this? Okay, any question? We can go for questions.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable and informative presentation. And I'm sure all of us definitely going to love the idea of virtual resources. Now, ma'am, with your permission, we would be taking questions from our attendees. People can start asking.
Good evening, ma'am. This is Devendra.
Yes.
Ma'am, I have already mailed you a few days back regarding for the remote access.
Okay. Okay, you're not received it as yet, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I was a little busy in some other work, so I'll do it. I'll definitely do. If you can once again send me the email, it will be helpful because otherwise it must have gone somewhere down. So it is better that you do it right now again, once again, then I can do it immediately.
Okay, thank you.
Ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I wanted to ask that regarding some recent innovations, like any innovation regarding COVID, if the subject is not published or too much information is not there or something is newly patented, how will we get information regarding the same?
That is what I said, that there is something called, which I showed, preprint server. So on these topics, you can actually go through these preprint servers. For chemistry also, for medicine also, there are these preprint servers where you can actually go and see that what has been, people are sharing with each other, what has been yet to publish, what is yet to publish, and their work is, research is going on, that is available on these preprint servers. And also with all these publishers, they have right now, even if you go to Scopus or even if you go to Science Direct platform, you will see that there is a special window for COVID-19 research, So they have also all tried to make these resources available, even if you don't subscribe to. Supposedly, see, everything we cannot subscribe to, whatever is available under, like Elsevier has so many journals, they might have thousands of journals, but we subscribe to a limited part of it, isn't it? We subscribe to 800 or 1000 journals maybe. So what Elsevier has now done is, not only Elsevier but other publishers as well, what they have done is that whatever is related to COVID, they have opened it out, without any subscription. So if we are subscribing to chemical engineering cluster, then also we are allowed to access the research related to COVID. So they have special tabs, they have this special A where you can actually access this, even if you don't subscribe to. So it's open. I mean, everybody has opened it out. All the publishers almost have opened. It is kind of a social responsibility. Under social responsibility, they have done it. So you can try those. Try visiting their websites. And as I showed in Scopus, 2021 ka research papers are also ready right now. So please go through it. In Nature and all, lot is published now in COVID. So please go through that and find out. You will definitely get some help.
Thank you, ma'am.
What is not published, you try in those preprint servers.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes. Ma'am, I want to ask, the question is, can we access Bentham Science journals from remote access?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Because in that, ma'am, it is showing a bad gateway as a message when we give browse.
When you click on it, it gives you bad gateway.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so technically there might be some problem. I'll get it checked.
Okay,
just drop me a mail on that so that I can forward it to the publishers, so they will look into it. Their technical team will look into it.
Yes, ma'am. I will. Thank you, ma'am.
It is not possible for the library staff to continuously look into each and every journal, whether it is working, each and every link which is working, because there are many electronic resources. So if you come across any such kind of problem, technical issues while accessing, please take a screenshot and send an email of that screenshot. So then we can forward it to the technical team of the publishers and get it rectified as soon as possible. Any other question?
Can everyone use iThenticate?
iThenticate cannot be used by everyone. It is for the faculty. So if you want to get something, your document check, you have to approach your guide. And for some reason, if you are not able to connect your guide because the guide is traveling or something, then you can approach the library. You have to mail me that research paper or that mail me the research paper which you want to get it authenticate to be checked in iThenticate, and keep your guide also in the loop. Then I can send you the report. It takes about 1 day, so you submit me today, then I'll only be able to give you the next day the report. I can send you the report through email. The guide has to approve of it. Directly students can't access iThenticate.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
I have one more question that uh, the recent papers which are published, if they are not too much cited, then how will we understand that their content should be taken or not? With what reference we should go ahead?
Uh, the citations work. It will take time. See, only when the paper is published in the third year, the citation starts. Because if I publish particularly in this year 2020, then the other researchers like you all who are doing their research will actually go through my paper, and they will publish only when their manuscript is ready. So definitely it is not going to be immediately. So whatever is published in 2020 will only start getting citations in 2023, I would say, or 24, because the process takes time. But if you feel it is not that only getting cited, if the paper has got cited, that means it is authentic. It is not that. See, I told you ki the right resources. If you take the paper from the right resources, you see that it is a good impact factor journal or a good published book, then definitely there is no harm in taking all that. So it is not that it depends on the citations. You know, it is like from where, which is the source, the resource that you are using it, from where that particular information has come, that adds the value or authenticity to that particular research. So don't go by citations there. You can straight away you can see that which journal that article has been published and what is the impact factor of that. I mean, how valued the journal is. If it is indexed, if you go, that's why I said you begin with Scopus, you begin with a Web of Science, because what is indexed by Scopus or a Web of Science, they do a lot of scrutiny and only then they accept a particular journal. You know, they have their own procedure and own ways of selecting a particular journal to be indexed, and it is very, very complex, and it is very so only those journals which are really, really good in their impact, those are chosen by Scopus and by Web of Science. So if you start with Scopus and Web of Science, you should be sure that that particular article would be authentic and good, because publishers themselves also take a lot of efforts, because it is peer reviewed and only then published. And if you go by citations, it is definitely going to take time, because whatever is published in 2020 will get citations only later. And when you are doing your literature review, there is one factor which you have to take care of, that there are latest journals, you know, there are latest articles. It should not be that everything is very old. They generally say it take within 5 years.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, once again, thank you from Bombay Technologists, and I would like to thank all my participants and Mrs. Madhavi Wadkar for her valuable presentation. And we are really happy to have you today, ma'am. We really look forward to work with you in the future. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you very much.